Alright guys, Mark from the Lawnologist. I'll explain to you very shortly why I'm stood in between two stripes. But I'm here today to introduce you to my newest team member. I've searched high and low for this chap. He's from Canada. I was introduced to him a couple of months ago, and certainly thought again about him at the Field Compost exhibition. And now I've managed to get him on board. I'm really pleased. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Brian. Brian? Brian. Brian Shy, 2 ticks. Let me grab Brian. Come on, Brian. Come on. Oh. Here is Brian, and Brian is a powered Bannerman top dresser, which is perfect for the compost dressing that I use, the organic compost dressing from Field Compost. Brian is powered by Honda engine, and will make my life so much easier. He will speed up my operations. He will make a renovation less back-breaking, certainly on the larger lawns, and he will give us a tidier finish to the lawns than we have been by spreading compost by rake. So we're going to test Brian today, and we're going to do 2 different tests. We're going to get Brian to dress 1 stripe that's been mowed low to replicate a renovated lawn as he stands at the moment. We'll just get him to dump his dressing on this small strip here. And then, because Brian has an engine, I started to think, well, maybe he can drag a mat at the same time and drag the seed and the dressing in as we're going along, effectively killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I have fashioned some terrible looking drag mat type contraption with brushes on it that's weighted with bricks, and I'm just going to see what difference it makes, and if it does make a difference I will then construct a better looking one and introduce that into my fleet of machinery to help me drag in dressing and seed with Brian, and that will speed up my process massively. So what we'll do now, we'll get Brian loaded up with some compost and we'll crack on and we'll just see what happens next. First test will be Brian without the drag mat. Are you ready, Brian? Let's go. So this is the Field 4 compost organic dressing that I use. You may or may not be aware of it. It's getting very popular with the lawn care YouTubers and lawn care businesses. But I'll very quickly show you why this is so good. And I've done a video on this before. But this is completely organic. It's screened to 4mm, and it's just perfect for dressing the lawn. It gives slow release nutrients. It helps lock in the moisture and it protects the seed as well, and gives you a good seed to soil contact. So when I use this to dress the lawn with, and I drag it in afterwards, it gives the perfect finish and the best seed bed. So that's why I use it. So Field Compost, it's worth a look. All right. So let's dump it into Brian. 1 bag. And we'll crack on. See, it's done its first pass of top dressing. I wouldn't say I'm overly happy with that actually, and the reason being is it's left me some in the middle and then fairly blank bit either side. Now it could well be because of the wheels, it could be because maybe I need to calibrate it a bit better, but nevertheless I'm not happy with that distribution. So it's okay, but it would definitely need a drag mat now. If this was a lawn we were renovating this lawn, we would definitely have to go to a drag mat to even that out. Okay, so let's now have a look at this really kind of bundled together contraption I've built, and just see if that makes any difference to how Brian drops his dress and how we can drag it in. So let's have a look at that now. So here we are with my rudimentary homemade drag mat. It's literally a piece of OSB board. It's got 3 stiff brushes at the front in a like U shape, so that should in theory push out that top dressing to the edges a bit more, so it gives it more of an even spread, and then finished off with a very heavy duty rubber mat at the back just to smooth things over. At the back here I'll put some bricks to weigh it down. and we'll just see how we go. If it doesn't work, I'll nothing venture, nothing gain. I'll probably just chuck it in the bush. So let's see how we crack on, shall we? See how we get on. Just look at the difference. How it's more even on the left or on the right, and just how that drag map works. What I'll do is I'm just going to spin the camera around and quickly show you how terrible it looks, but actually how effective it is. It's just held on the back of that engine bay there with 2 chains, 3 bricks on the back, heavy duty mat, and then just underneath the brushes that drag the top dressing in. And there is Brian in all his glory, lovely and clean. He's a good boy. Chuff with Brian. He can sit in the yard next to his mate Bertha, the aerator. That's a fairly rudimentary contraption there, but bloody hell, what an invention. I think I'll have to trademark that. Anyway, happy days. Do you know what? I think that bloody works. Yeah, I'm happy with that. What a result. Can you imagine that? I can now top dress a large lawn and drag in at the same time. God, that's going to speed up my operations quite nicely, actually. Nicely dragged in, nice and tidy. What a difference that makes. I can't believe it, really. Happy days. Well, Brian's a good lad. I'm happy with Brian. He can stay. Thanks for watching. See you another time. Adios.